Hi, I'm Patty Christensen, one of the managers of the school-based program. When we first heard we were going to be having to deal with our clients through telehealth, many people were very nervous and uncertain. How will we ever learn how to do it? Well, we have brought together some of our great therapists to give you some tried and true tricks and techniques that they've figured out. So here are some of Palomar Family Counseling very best school-based therapists with their favorite telehealth techniques.
Hi, my name is Lori Alcacer, and I'm a DIS counselor in Escondido. And this is an activity that I've done in person and through telehealth. It's a mindfulness activity, and it really works well for anxiety and coping strategies. It's called the Wave, and it's an art activity, and you can do it. You could have the students do it online, on the computer, or maybe get a whiteboard and then have them get a paper and pencil, and they can still do it even if it's telehealth, even if it's over the phone. So I'm going to go ahead and do the activity as if you were my client, and this is what I would say to my client. The materials you need, like I said, are drawing paper, crayons, markers, whatever they want to write with. The procedure is, and I'm going to start this. So I want, actually I'll have everybody do it that's listening. Go ahead and close your eyes. I have the students close their eyes when they're doing this. And I want you to close your eyes and visualize yourself riding a wave at the beach. I want you to visualize the size of the wave, the speed and color of the wave, the strength of the wave, and how you are feeling emotionally and physically. I want you to visualize the way in which you are riding the wave. For instance, are you on a surfboard? Are you actually in the wave, under the wave, over the wave? How does the water feel? Is it cold, warm, hard, soft, comforting, or threatening? Okay, I want you to open your eyes. Then I want you to draw this visual experience. And at that point, I will have the student draw. It might take 5 minutes, might take 10, 15, depending on the students, depending on how much students like doing art. Some students will take 30 minutes drawing this. The goals in this is identifying, changing, and developing new coping strategies. In the discussion and processing the picture, the wave may be used to represent how the client approaches problems and challenges. Discussions focus on how the client rides the wave. Does he or she glide on top of it, dive into it, or fall under the wave or the water? Explore how the wave can represent life's challenges, and discuss what specific challenges group members, if in a group or individually, are experiencing. Most likely telehealth will be doing individual, but some might be doing groups, so this would be a good discussion. During the discussion, you're going to examine the methods and ways to ride life's waves. Like, example, when you're hungry, can you ride the wave of hunger and wait until dinner to eat? Or do you need to eat that cookie right now? When stressed, can you take deep breaths, do relaxation exercises, and allow the stress to decrease and or pass? And then that allows for a good discussion. And that's the end of that activity. And I'm going to need a second to pull up the other one. I'm sorry, it's a muscle relaxation technique. And I used it a lot with students with high anxiety doing telehealth. It was something that they could do on the phone or visually if we're doing the video, and they really liked it. And I'm gonna go ahead and have everybody, if you want to do it with me, I have students either tell them to lie down at home, wherever they can get comfortable. I explain what progressive muscle relaxation is, and I'll go ahead and explain that. Progressive muscle relaxation is an exercise that reduces stress and anxiety in your body by having you slowly tense and then relax each muscle. This exercise can provide an immediate feeling of relaxation, but it is best to practice frequently. With experience, you will become more aware of when you are experiencing tension, and you will have the skills to help you relax. During this exercise, each muscle should be tensed, but not to the point of strain. If you have any injuries or pain, you can skip the affected areas. Pay special attention to the feeling of releasing tension in each muscle and the resulting feeling of relaxation. Okay, so begin. This is where I ask them, can sit back, lie down in a comfortable position. Shut your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. So begin by taking a deep breath and noticing the feeling of air filling your lungs. Hold your breath for a few seconds. And I usually count about 5 seconds. Release the breath slowly and let the tension leave your body. Take in another deep breath and hold it. Again, slowly release the air. Even slower now, take another breath. Fill your lungs and hold the air. Slowly release your breath and imagine the feeling of tension leaving your body. Now move your attention to your feet. Begin to tense your feet by curling your toes and the arch of your foot. Hold on to the tension and notice what it feels like. Release the tension in your foot. Notice a new feeling of relaxation. Next, begin to focus on your lower leg. Tense the muscles in your calves, hold them tightly, and pay attention to the feeling of tension. Release the tension from your lower legs. Again, notice the feeling of relaxation. Remember to continue taking deep breaths. Next, tense the muscles of your upper leg and pelvis. You can do this by tightly squeezing your thighs together. Make sure you feel tenseness without going to the point of strain. Release. Feel the tension leave your muscles. Begin to tense your muscles, begin to tense your stomach and chest. You can do this by sucking in your stomach, squeeze harder and hold the tension a little bit longer. Release the tension. Allow your body to go limp. Let yourself notice a feeling of relaxation. Continue taking deep breaths. Breathe in slowly, noticing the air fill your lungs and hold. Release the air slowly. Feel it leaving your lungs. Next, tense the muscle in your back by bringing your shoulders together behind you. Hold them tightly. Tense them as hard as you can without straining and keep holding. Release the tension from your back. Feel the tension slowly leaving your body and the new feeling of relaxation. Notice how different your body feels when you allow it to relax. Tense your arms all the way from your hands to your shoulders. Make a fist and squeeze all the way up your arm. Hold it. Release the tension from your arms and shoulders. Notice a feeling of relaxation in your fingers, hands, arms, and shoulders. Notice how your arms feel limp and at ease. Move up your neck and your head. Tense your face and your neck by distorting the muscles around your eyes and mouth. Release the tension. Again, notice a feeling of relaxation. Finally, tense your entire body. Tense your feet, legs, stomach, chest, arms, head, and neck. Tense harder without straining. Hold the tension. Now release. Allow your whole body to go limp. Pay attention to the feeling of relaxation and how different it is from the feeling of tension. To begin to wake your body up by slowly moving your muscles. Adjust your arms and legs. Stretch your muscles and open your eyes when you're ready. Okay, and that is something that you can also do together, especially if you're working with some of the younger kids. Since I work with adolescents, that's something that they usually like to turn the screen off and do over the phone, and I usually talk through it. And that's it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Grishelle. I'm Valley Center. I'm a site-based counselor at Valley Center District. Today, I would talk about breathing techniques when teaching a child how to do their proper breathing techniques. Usually, especially if I have younger kids that likes to move, I would suggest to redirect them by sitting on the floor, and you could sit on the floor with them as well. And then what I do, I take out this little small LED light, and then I guide them by telling them to breathe in through their nose. And I made sure also that the environment around me would be darker than this light. And then breathe out, and as they breathe out, they blow the candle out, and at the same time, I turn it off. You could do this before session and after session, or even during session. One other thing I do for telehealth is doing a scavenger hunt. It's a nice way to learn more about the client or learning anything that's utilizing the things around them as a coping skill. Like look for something that makes you happy, look for something that feels comfortable, look for something that is soft in texture, any kind of texture that would help them when it comes to coping skills and grounding techniques. One other thing that I like to do with my clients that I've started is providing them homework or doing this with them during sessions by allowing them to share their screen. If some of you are familiar with Santray, unfortunately, due to telehealth, we can't do that right now. So doing online Santray by Dr. Karen Fried, where you could Google it. It's called onlinesantray.com. You could send that link to your client and they would be able to do their Santray therapy from there. They have different characters, different models or different types of object that they could utilize during that Santray therapy.
Hi, I'm Abby Long. I'm one of the licensed therapists. And I will be able to share some interventions with you through the screen. Today I will demonstrate how to complete a DBT house. This intervention works well to help you assess different areas that might be important for the client. And there's a handout that you can use. It also is easy to simplify this one if you're not able to send a handout through telehealth. You can also instruct the client on how to draw a house and explain different areas that you want them to demonstrate on the house. So on the foundation, you would have the client list values that govern their life. On the walls, you would instruct them to list anyone or anything that supports them. On level 1, instruct the client to list behaviors to gain control of their life. Level 1, list behaviors you are trying to gain control of or areas of your life you want to change. On level 2, list or draw emotions you want to experience more often, more fully, or in a more healthy way. Level 3, list all the things you are happy about or want to feel happy about. Level 4, list or draw what a life worth living would look like for you. In the roof, you would list people, things that protect you. On the door, list things you keep hidden from others. On the billboard, things you are proud of and want others to see. On the chimney, ways you blow off steam. And the child can either draw or write what they want to illustrate in each of the areas.
One of the things that we've noticed in doing telehealth is sometimes it seems like the technology worked great last time, and then this time it's worked a little bit different than it worked before. And so that's how it goes. And I think one of the biggest things is we just not have to go too crazy. We're trying to share something and it doesn't show up. And then we try and there it is, you know, going again.
Here is another example of how to implement progressive relaxation exercises with younger kids that may need help visualizing how to relax areas of their body. There's a turtle that can help the children visualize how to relax areas of their shoulders and neck. You can also use a carrot to help them visualize how to relax their jaw. This is great for when children get angry and their jaw tenses up. If they're feeling tension in their back, you can have them visualize swinging on a swing. If there's tension in their stomach, have them visualize trying to fit through a narrow gap on a fence. If there's tension on their face, you can have them visualize a fly on their face and have them try to get it off without touching their face. If they have tension in their legs and their feet, have them visualize squishing their toes through a muddy puddle. If they have tension in their hands and their arms, have them visualize squeezing the juice out of a lemon. And if there's tension in their arms and their shoulders, have them visualize stretching like a cat. And the children can either make cards or a mini booklet that they can use to refer back to it. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Benoit Vincent. I'm an MFT trainee and I've worked on telehealth extensively the last 3 months and tried to develop tools that are interactive. So that's what I'd like to show you, how to have the student and you collaborating together. And one of the greatest tools, I'm going to ask maybe Rachel to work with me on this one. When you click share the screen on your computer, you have a solution called whiteboard. So you click on the whiteboard, and here's what happened is you still see everybody on the screen, but you see a whiteboard with possibility to draw certain things. So in order for Rachel to work with me on this whiteboard, she's gonna have to go to the menu that she's normally on top of a whiteboard, where it is, there is a view options, and she's gonna pick in this view option, the option annotation. Can you see that, Rachel, in the menu? I have a whiteboard, as you can see. I can write on my whiteboard, and I'm going to invite you to write with me. In order for you to do that, you have to go to your menu. If you click with your mouse, or if it's a touch
I got it.
screen, you got it? It's called view option. So it's called annotation. So you pick annotation, and then you choose with your mouse or your fingers, draw, for example. Do you see draw here?
Yeah.
You have access to it. So click draw and click, for example, there we go. That's, you chose, it looks like you chose the blue color, which I can change the color and choose the red color. And we can, both of us, draw something on the screen. You want to draw something else?
Sure.
So, yeah, try again. Try to change color, for example, by clicking on Format. And you can choose the color, and you can choose also a thicker pen.
Yeah.
Like you see what I have?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead. Here we go. That's a triangle. That's a house. Nice. Nice work. So together, what we're going to do is I can ask you to draw a house, a tree, on a person, and to do the typical house, tree, person exercise. And then based on the way you draw these three components, I can start to understand how do you see yourself and how do you see your family and life in general. And you've seen supervision, some of these interpretation as you go through the program. Here we go, that's a beautiful tree. So Rachel, what we can do here is I'm gonna stop you for a second if you don't mind. I'm gonna clear all the drawing if it's okay with you. And what I'm gonna do now is to do a game, it's called Scribble, which is I'll start, and then you're gonna pick up where I stopped, and then you're gonna continue. At the end where I have my pencil, you choose the color you want, whatever you want, and then you keep scribbling, and we're gonna go, that's scribble, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you have your pen, and you chose your color, and you, at the end of where I stopped, you continue. There we go. Now I'm gonna take it where you left it off, and I'm gonna scribble, and it's your turn. And as you're done scribbling and we've filled a little bit of the space, I'm going to ask you if you can see in all this scribble that we just did, if you can see an animal, a person, a home or something. So for that, you're going to change the color, and then you're going to take, for example, the blue color and see if you see something. So I'll give you an example right now. I may see a bird right there. That looks like those are, you know, his tail here, and he has his wings coming down here, and here we go, and I can draw on it somehow if I want to draw a little bit of the color, or I can scribble using the sharper pen as we talked about it. I can use you know, different things. So that's and then we can talk about what we see here. So that's one way to use the whiteboard. I'd like to show you one more usage of this whiteboard that is a little more advanced, where you would use a YouTube video, and then you would ask the student to pick up something in this YouTube video. So the YouTube video is your material, and then I'm going to show you the unusual object to detect. And can you see it? So this is this is a movie where you still have in your view options, you have a menu that allows you to draw on it. So can you pick up your pencil and try to see if you could scribble on my movie? A dot or something. And here we go, you did the blue one. So what I'd like you to pick is the oval, the capacity to make an oval. You see that possibility?
Yes.
In the menu? Okay, can you pick and make an oval? Anywhere anywhere, here we go. So here we go, we're gonna watch this movie, and we're gonna try to see how observant you are. So first, I'd like you to clear all the drawings. Like this, we don't have anything on your screen. Here we go, thank you. And there are 25 possibilities, there are 25 exercises. Let's take the first one, and I'd like you to draw an oval around the unusual object in the level 1 easy first 5 tries. Are you ready? Okay.
Oh my gosh, what?
Here we go. So you get 10 seconds to find the unusual object and draw an oval around it. Are you ready? Let's go.
Unusual object.
Unusual, yeah, it should not be in this one. So you see, here we go. That's the one.
Oh yeah, cool.
What's happening there?
That's so hard. Let's try again.
That was the first one. So before we try again, I'd like you to clean up, to clear all your drawings because you put 2 over. Here we go. You ready? The
Okay.
next one. It's coming. Okay, 10
Wait,
seconds.
I got it.
Here we go. You got it. Let's see. 5 seconds later. And it's telling us
to do more.
Here we go. You got it. One last one.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, let me clear it. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, 10 seconds.
Okay, this is harder. Oh, wait.
Okay, 0. Yay! You did it. Perfect. Good job. Good job. Good job. Okay.
I did a good job.
So you can see what we can do is to run a video and then there are videos where you have to find a dog, an animal in pictures that are more like real. That was like drawings that you could say, and then so you use the observation. And then of course, what you do in this exercise is the child may struggle sometimes, especially if they're ADHD, they may have a hard time to concentrate, to focus. And that's the opportunity to dialogue around how difficult it was for them. And I can tell you when if ever you reach the level, the test 23, 25, and 24 and 25, you'll be really challenged. I tried all the way through. and that's a great opportunity to talk about success, failure, wants to give up, continue to try, focus. I mean, it's an opportunity to talk about all this topic. I'd like to share you, if you don't mind, another interactive, very easy to do task, which is called snowman. You know, hangman. In our youth, we love to use hangman. Then a hangman is not really, I would say, appropriate. So here's the alternative that we'd love to play. And what you do is you Google, as you can see, you Google snowman hangman, and then the first hit that comes to snowman hangman, you click on it, and then here we go, you got a movie, but you don't like usually what's automatically generated, and you want to create your own. So you do that before the child is online, the student is online, and you say a word like feeling. So I'm frustrated, okay? Frustrated, and then the hint, it's a feeling. So unfortunately here you all know the words, and so you know the answer. So Rachel, let's try a word, a letter.
D.
Okay. Look at what happened. If I did D, it's in the word. You got it. Another word, another letter.
U.
U. Okay, let's try U. It is. You got it.
V.
V. Let's try. O.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. F.
Yeah, the snowman just lost his arm. Oh, you got it.
L.
Oh, so you see through that exercise, what you do is you see how anxious the child is to choose the next letter. Some children, in my experience, could take like 3 minutes before deciding on the letter because they're so anxious of losing another part of the snowman that is going to melt. And of course, if you go to the end, I'm going to shorten for that presentation. As you know, here we go. And what happened is you save the snowman. Otherwise, the snowman would have completely melted. And so after that, you can talk about the word frustrated. What does it mean when they have felt frustrated? And you can use on and on. That's an easy way to explain feeling to a child. And then also along the way, seeing how he's reacting, choosing, defeating. Some children, for example, in my experience, wanted to stop doing the exercise in the middle because they did not know how to spell the word, even if they knew the word, for example. Okay. I like also to tell a story, to read a book with a student. and to share ideas and talk about it. So I did as I copied a great book. A terrible thing happened. So it's the story of Sherman Smith, who something happened. It was terrible. We never know really what it was. But here we go. I created a PDF by copying this book and storing in a PDF form. And I just shared my screen with it. And I can go here page after page and then read the book with the students. So I go and say, Sherman didn't like feeling so afraid, didn't want to remember what happened. And it start to, you know, think about it when he walk his dog, and he seems all right, but certain things start to bother him, and he didn't want to eat. He didn't feel very hungry. His stomach was hurting. He felt sad sometimes. He didn't know why. He was nervous at times. Sometimes he didn't sleep well, etc. And then so we would talk about that, and typically would use this book with children who experience some trauma. So the last thing I'd like to show you is how to use some of the tools that are available in the school-based virtual library that we have. So if you go to this link that is going to be available for all of us, and there's a bunch of folders, and the first one, which is the video library, contains a lot of topics, videos, or linked to YouTube's video, and by topic, academic issue, ADHD, and so on. So in this library here that I just downloaded, I'm going to search some of the tools that we've been using, or you could use in your interventions. And the one that I want to point out right now is the one that it's called in the telehealth section, 10 online play therapy technique. So I would go here, click, and then open the link. And as you can see, it opens immediately. So it's a YouTube video. So usually there's a bit of advertising, so we have to be patient about it. And then it loads. There we go. We're going to get it. Let's make sure that when you load videos, you also share the computer sound, otherwise no one can hear what you're presenting. So in this particular case, Jackie Flynn here presents a couple of tools.
Thank you so much for joining.
So what's great about this tool here is there is a link, as you can see, of a free workbook for this training in play therapy. I'm going to open this one. In another tab, I'm going to share that tab instead of this one. So let's share these 10 online play therapy techniques that Jackie Flynn is offering us for free. And then when you scroll down, you see, for example, feeling thumb ball. So I'd like to fit to the page. And then what we do is we would ask the student to open the menu, to go navigate on top of his bar because he's sharing, and choose in the menu, annotate, and which allows him to put a dot or something on screen. So what you do is you would ask the child to choose a brush with, for example, a red color, and then a stamp and with a star, and you close his eyes, move your cursor, and then click, and then here we go, thankful, and you'd say, hey, can you think about a time when you wanted to be thankful in your life, and do you have an example? And then you do it again, and then you go, oh, if is on embarrassed, and can you tell me a story where you feel embarrassed? So that's one way to use this tool that Jackie gave us. But there are other tools, and you can see that different balls with different words like that. There's also this tool called Important to Me, and you could work with the student, same thing, could go to the menu that is available, where he can choose to write text about if he is in the middle, central, is in the heart, who is important around him. In the blue circle, it would be maybe a family member, someone. So you use Same thing, a text function in the menu, and you can open and say what's important is my dad is very important to me, and you would write that. And here maybe you would write my dog. Here you may write my friends. Here you would put soccer, and then you would write something else that is really exceptional in his life, and maybe you know, his grandfather. So that would be a way to start a conversation, to look at what's important in the life of the child. And then once you're done with that, you can clear all of them and move on to another tool that Jackie is offering. And you can browse and see regulation, exercise, and so on. Okay, or listing things that are under control, not under control, etc. It's another exercise where you are the center and you write in each of the arms something about your strengths or weaknesses in combination. I hope that those tools can help you. So feel free to go to the library of tools that are available. I would like to show you one more tool, which consists of using another screen, like an iPad or a telephone, and connecting that screen to the Zoom application or session that you're running on your computer. So it's like adding another screen, okay? So you go to share screen and you choose the options that is available of iPhone, iPad, you click on it, and you said, now I'm gonna share that. And you see that there was a message that said, you need to make sure that you're on the same network, which if your computer and your iPad or your telephone is on the same network, is fine. And then you swipe, you take your iPad, you swipe the right corner, and there is a function called screen mirroring, and that's what you press on it. And when you press screen mirroring, the iPad, your iPad actually shows up on your Zoom session in your share screen. So now we're seeing my iPad instead of seeing my computer background. So let's suppose that I want to use my iPad because it's a touch screen versus a computer, so it's easy to draw, it's easy, or there are some games that I have. So let's try, you know, Exploded Kitten, for example, which is a fun game. Unfortunately, you have to pay $1.99. Each partner has to do that. So I don't know, it's mainly more maybe with your clinical client for that particular one, but that shows you. And you can play with my friends, and here we go, so you see. And I would typically host a game, and that's what I'm doing. I'm hosting a game, but I don't have to show you my iPad. What you see in the screen is my iPad. And I'd like to try a game, you know, with, no, I don't want special. I want to use my deck, and my avatar is fine. And I need to share, as you can see, 267899, this code number with someone. And so I would typically tell someone else, my friend partners or the client, to open his application. So I use that on my phone, for example, here. I just open, I use simulating that it's my student or my client. And then here we go. He opened the application and he's going to have to enter the code that I just tell him. So the code is 268, and you're going to see us playing the game. Okay. So I'm entering 267899. Return. I just enter the code, and here we go. We're ready to start the game. So starting the game, and you see me playing with against my telephone or. Okay, so I would have to play a card, and then the other person would have to play a card. Here we go, and the game would go on and on like that. Okay, so I'm stopping sharing the iPad here. There are other games like that you can find on internet. I recommend, for example, simple things such as dominoes is a good one. So in the same fashion, I'll show you how to play another game such as dominoes. And in dominoes, same procedure. I share my iPad, clicking on mirror the screen. So he's picking up now on my iPad versus my computer screen. And then I can play a game. So here I have, as you can see on the bottom here, I have Domino that I just opened, Domino Pro. And I can now start to launch a game. So how does it work? Domino Pro that you download from the internet, it's free. You start a game, you refuse the bonus here, in this case. So I'm gonna start a game, play with a friend is the third option, play with computer, random, or with a friend. I'll play only 2 players, the client and myself. I want to create a room because I'm the one hosting the game, and that generates a code, OWZCE. So I'm using here my phone, same way, where the game is downloaded. So that would be your client on his side. He has his iPad, his computer, or his phone, and he would start the game same way, and he would play with a friend the same way as it is, and he would go join the room versus share the room. And of course, now it's time for him to enter the code that is on the screen. So I would tell him 0, and it would be WZCE, and it would be done. It would have entered a code, and then next, you type next, and you're going to see we're going to play domino together on each side of the fence. So once it hit next, is connected with me on this game, and I'm going to tap next on my side, and here we go. We're going to start a game of domino together online. As you can see, so I use my iPad that I sent here to my computer, and I'm going to be the first one, it looks like, because I have a double 3 maybe, unless it's the guest. So we're going to see who's first. Looks like, the other person put a double 4. So I have to put something that looks like a 4. Here we go, I did it. Now, the clients have to play, and so they have a choice. And let's see, there's a 3, a choice of a 4. So let's suppose the client chooses that, and continue to play, and so on, up to someone wins, which means that it doesn't have any dominoes anymore. So that's a great way to play games together, interactively. Stop sharing.
So one of the things you can see that here's some people who've spent a few months learning and playing how to do this. There are many, many more kinds of interventions and good ideas that people have. A couple quick tips. One is take a look at your screen and to see if your face shows up. In some cases, maybe that you have a window behind you or the light's not going. If you can get a light up towards your face, it's easier for your clients to be able to see. Like you can see, for example, Rochelle and Abby have good lights that you can see well. So check, sometimes it's very shadowy and that makes it more difficult to look. And you might have to shift things around in your room. Sometimes you also want to take a look at just the background you have behind you. And sometimes people have a really calm, peaceful background. Sometimes people have a lot of busy things going on. Make sure that you don't have distracting things behind you. That's important. One more thing I want to say, some people have worked out to have a little kind of closing at the end of the time. It's a little bit strange. It's like you're going and we're finishing. Normally, if we're going to like have a client and walk them back to their room or out to the door, but you might work out something. Sometimes everybody waves when they're leaving, or one therapist I know, she does at the end, she just says, peace out. And then the client does that back. So you might want to just experiment. If there's some kind of little ritual way you want to let the client know, we're finished, I'll see you again next time. So for now, I want to say, peace out.
That was good, Patty.